Hello, ladies, gentlemen, miscellaneous entities of indeterminate and unknown origin. Welcome to Flynn Church's Unpopular Opinion. Today we are playing the beta. Well, we're going to look at the beta of Destiny while I talk over it. I have actually played through all of the primary content already. It's only five story quests thus far, story missions. And you can only get up to level 8 or level 9, so there isn't very much content yet to enjoy, but what there is has proven to be really pleasurable. It's definitely got an MMO feel to it. I'm not going to argue that point at all. I do not get this left stick interface, and the fact that their menus all look like they came out of Brink. That's actually a vibe I pick up from this game a lot, but let's start at the beginning. Destiny is Bungie's newest title. It is a always online semi-multiplayer FPS for consoles thus far. There is no PC port planned at the moment. They say they're considering a PC port, and I wouldn't be surprised if one did happen. But right now, this is strictly for current and next generation consoles, 360, X1, PS3, PS4. The only version of this that can be played thus far without a fee is the PS3 version. The PS4 version requires Plus. The Microsoft versions both require Gold, so you have to pay a monthly fee to get into them because they're always online multiplayer games. Essentially, you are a corpse that gets revived by a robotic thing called a ghost. It's voiced by Peter Dinklage. In a more broad sense, humanity discovered something on Mars called the Library. I think it's called the Library. I don't know. I haven't seen the opening for some time. And essentially, it gave us amazing insights and abilities, but it attracted something the story calls the Darkness. And the Darkness basically brought aliens who tore us to pieces. And you are one of the last surviving human-like creatures, because you don't specifically have to be a human, who is still alive and trying to protect the last city, the tower, from imminent destruction at the hands of the Fallen, which is what I'm killing now, or the Hive, which is a series of hyper-religious zealots. And yes, Peter Dinklage does voice, he's right there giving one of the worst lines he actually gives in the entire fucking beta. It's in the walls. Terrible line. He just doesn't seem to have any idea what to do with it, and I can't blame him. What you are seeing of it is what there is. It is either you stand in a town and talk to people and get missions, or you go out and you shoot people on various planets. I keep calling it the demo. It's not actually a demo. This is a variation on what's going to launch. The beta ships with exactly 5 story missions, all set in the same place. They're all set on Earth, so you can see the moon, but you never get to it. You are limited to 3 weapons. I am currently carrying my primary, which for me is an auto rifle, because frankly I like loud, fast, and strong. You can also pick up a... there's different kinds of primary weapons. This is just the one I happen to like the most. Primary. I just hit that guy with a flashbang. He is a boss class character. Basically, I'm cheesing the shit out of him now, because I figured this out. I'm playing him on a harder difficulty for more rewards. Yeah, I have 500 kills. But you also have this is my heavy weapon. If I could actually shoot it. He's gonna kill me. Oh no, he didn't. Lucky me. Regenerating health. You have a heavy weapon, a medium weapon, well, a power weapon, secondary, which in my case I have a fusion rifle. It does pretty insane damage at the cost of it doesn't shoot very quickly. But general opinion thus far, so for instance, it's out, and heavies don't carry very much ammo at all. You get very little ammo for them because they're so big and heavy. So far, I have been modestly impressed with what Destiny brings to the table. I wouldn't say it's the best thing since, sliced bread or anything. It's decent, and that's about what I can say. Which is, that's an unfair way to put it, really. Yes, this is my fusion cannon, which does way more damage at the cost of it. Shoots really, really slowly, which against this guy's not very useful. Melee is... I'm playing a class that has a powered-up melee attack, so beating people with my fist knife does much, much more damage than other classes would. The vibe I'm picking up from what I played of Destiny is if you... Oh, somebody's shooting me from the doorway. I should probably get out of there. If you've played any of the free to fuck around with progression FPSs, then there are a lot of them. Ones that spring immediately to mind. Counter-Strike. Go. Which is not free to play, but it's that model. Alliance of Valiant Arms, Combat Arms, Blackwatch, or is it Blackwatch? I think it's Blackwatch Retribution or something. These are games where you start off with crap, you play a very short mission from a hub. That's gonna kill him. No, it didn't. That killed him now. You play a very short mission, or a moderately sized mission, depending. You gain experience and stat ups and all that shit while you're doing it, and then you return.
I have to get you to the speaker.
And that's the feel of it. Unlike, there's a lot of comparisons rolling around to Borderlands. It has something of that playstyle, but what it doesn't have is a world that you feel like you're exploring very often. There is an exploration mode. There is a very, very blatantly put out right in front of you exploration mode called Explore. I updated my Cydonia AR3. What did I get for rewards? I got a sniper rifle and arms. It's a good sniper rifle, though. I keep saying and I'm trying not to. I haven't done this in a long time. Essentially, it has a feel a lot like a much different game, like one of the older games that the missions don't seem connected. There's no narrative progression because you bounce back and forth, which gives it that hub-driven MMO feel. Again, Phantasy Star Online, if you want to go into that Blueburst, or Phantasy Star Online in general. I don't know Phantasy Star Online 2 because it never came out in the US. It hasn't come out yet. This is not to say that it isn't good. It is actually considerable amounts of fun. The problem I have thus far is I worry about sustainability of entertainment. Not inherently sustainability as an online game itself.
There was a time.
I worry about how long is the entertainment value of this going to last, since the game itself seems so jagged and disparate. There's something lost when you don't move forward in the same sphere you ended on. I had to take the Storm Mohawk, I just had to. Because you always leave the levels you were in. You always leave your mission site and go to the location map. And then your next mission starts off in a different location. It may start off somewhere completely different. There's a sense of discontinuity, where you have to sit there and wonder if you're not just playing a series of levels. I don't like that feel personally.
I could tell you of the great
but Destiny still manages to feel considerably more fun than it should. And I will be frank right now, I am terrible at FPSs on consoles. Destiny has enough hand-holding that I feel alright playing it with a controller. I'm not very good, and I'm terrible at the multiplayer, which I'll probably show off next. It does have a thick multiplayer element built into it. But I want to see more. The demo, I keep calling it a demo, it's the beta, is so short and shallow that getting a deeper feeling for the game is hard, because you only get a portion of it. I have a couple of complaints about controls. First off, I would like to ask whoever at Bungie thought that placing aim and shoot on the front shoulder buttons as opposed to the shoulder triggers, at least on the PS3, was a good idea. I'd like to ask them why they thought that was a good idea. You by default, you aim with L1 and you fire with R1. L2 is a grenade and R2 is melee.
I did. I'm sure.
And that flies in the opposite direction of everything I've ever played. So there's PvP galore. There's a multiplayer mode which I hope beyond all hope does not overshadow the primary game. And actually, to be honest, I wonder if Bungie has a plan assembled of sorts where they can build the game outward. They can add more story content. There is no real single player mode. For those of you at home who are wondering, I haven't tried playing it with the internet disabled, but at the moment there is no offline sort of play. Dismantle that for money. If you want to play it offline, upgrading almost all or a lot of weapons. If the weapon is green, it has an upgrade curve. That's a shotgun, and that's a snipey snipe. It's way better than my current snipey snipe, so I'll drop it. I keep them all around because they're nice to have. Yeah, nowhere near got that upgraded. Just checking. Ooh, encrypted engram. Encrypted items require that you go back and have a cryptologist, cryptographer, or whatever, dig through it. I don't know what discipline does, but since I use auto rifles and this has an increased reload speed, I'm going to stay with it, even though it's slightly less defense. But I'm not here to talk about that. I think, as much as it is, I think Destiny sets out to be sort of a somewhere between an MMO and an RPG, which is what the free-to-play games kind of get there. You get the progression. And I will go back to an earlier comment I made while I wait for the game to load. There is a serious feel of Brink here. Brink was a progression-based first-person shooter, except instead of having any kind of structured story mode per se, I got an email. Brink instead went with showing you, telling you a story and then letting you play arena maps that highlighted key points of the story, which is very different than what Destiny is doing. Destiny is doing it more like Halo, where the story comes in dribbles and drabbles during the shooting, and then you get key points between segments, but you don't get Halo's level progression, which I suppose is kind of me being bizarre, because Halo moved you from place to place too, and I didn't complain about it at all. Maybe it's the fact that Halo's levels were much, much bigger. Ooh, I got a interesting find. Neat. And Irreverend Type 1 leggings. Blue even. And that brings me a little concern. But I'm going to struggle on with it. I'm going to try and actually reach top level, because if it's only 8, it's not that far away. It is very good at what it sets out to do, and I honestly don't think Bungie set out to do more than they did. I have faith in Bungie above and beyond what I should probably have in them. And if the narrative opens up a little, which it seems to want to do. I'm going to pop over. This is the PvP segments. Why it won't let me in there, I don't know. Just cycling through things. There's several modes for the Crucible. Oh, it didn't save my other Crucible win. That's nice of it. I won a game earlier that it didn't save, so I lost my Crucible marks. I had 25 of them. This is matchmaking. I'm sitting through matchmaking. It could be very interesting. It's doing things. I like the idea of the Dead Earth theory, and it's kind of like Mass Effect. We were perfect, and then everything got fucked, and it happens. It happens a lot. So, if you are on any of the major consoles, the Wii's not getting a port for obvious reasons, nor is the Wii U. As a side note, I like to refer to the Wii U as the Woo, because I think the Wii U is a dumb, stinking title or name for a console. It is a good experience, and right now it's free. It's free for a few more days, I think, if not a few more hours. You can do far, far worse, and I think Destiny is setting out to kind of try and modernize and polish the idea of the hybrid progression FPS. Oh, I'm playing Shores of Time again. Woohoo! Sorry, there's supposed to be a map randomizer, but it hasn't worked, and this is the 4th time I've played Shores of Time. Very much the 4th time I've played this map. Dude's got a... Oh, it's a flag. Okay, I was about to say, dude's got a fucking, like, thing. He's got, like, a fucking scythe. Multiplayer / PvP is what you think it is. It is... The only mode I've run into thus far is capture the flag. Or, in this case, control points.
Zone A secure. Enemy captured Zone B.
Where you score points
Zone C
for
captured.
having control
Lost the
of
lead.
points, and you do your best to not lose those points to the other team. The longer you hold a team, the more effective it is. That was the double jump power-up, which the game calls lift. Alright, see if I can't take this point. I'm actually not doing terribly, which worries me a lot.
Zone A lost. You
Okay, which point did they take?
Zone
They took
B.
A.
Enemy captured Zone A. Zone B secure.
The fusion cannon, which is the one I'm using, fusion rifle, is incredibly loud, fast, slow, and strong. Oh, they took C while I wasn't looking, but I'm going to take A, so who cares? We're losing, so I'm just going to play some multiplayer while I talk about things.
Zone A.
I got a PS3 just before streaming ended, which anybody who watched my streams, I'll drop a link to in the notes below in the information. Ooh, I'm getting shot up.
Enemy captured Zone B.
I got shot up. I had one before we shut down because we did 2 souls, which was a fun experience amongst experiencing things that are fun. Oof, we're gonna actually lose every point.
Enemy
I'm
captured
sad for myself.
Zone A. Enemy controls all zones.
Nope, nope. Shoot. Yes, we are. Well, I got a fairly weak team, and I'm gonna note that I'm part of that fairly weak team.
Zone C neutralized.
Like doing that. I feel really good about suiciding. But there's not much more to be said. You know, Destiny is a fun game. There isn't enough of it to make a complete verdict about just yet.
Enemy captured Zone C. You've lost them all. They've got total control. Heavy ammo inbound.
I'm sure over time it will improve. It will be. You know, we will figure out if it's any good or not. I'm really sucking at this mode today. Of course, I'm going to record me sucking at this game really badly today. That's heavy ammo. I don't really want heavy ammo. I want special ammo. But thank you for watching. I'm not going to do the silly "if you like it, subscribe" thing, because that's just for people who have nothing better to do. Come by if I ever start streaming again. You guys here on YouTube will probably be the first to know. Simply because this is where I'm posting everything for now, since I can't seem to get enough. Ooh, I need to capture that. Never mind. Get back there. Get back there. I can't seem to get enough bandwidth to. Oh.
Zone B secure.
I can't seem to get enough. 2 of my people dropped. It's 6v4. We're gonna lose. We can't win a 6v4 match. Not playing the way we're playing. So, on behalf of myself from the Church of Flynn, this is Flynn Church, your Irreverend, saying whatever you do, do it well, do it fun, have a good time at it. Just keep living. I heard that quote somewhere recently, and frankly, it's a good quote. Just keep living.
Enemy captured Zone B.
And,
Zone A's captured. It's yours.
we shall return soon enough with more stuff.